Okay, hey there guys, so for this war, it's the first war of the second week now, so it's War 4, and we are up against MI-BR for our first, for the war today. There were some other alliances that honestly before we got the matches I was thinking we were going to get, but MI-BR is a nice matchup to get. They're a pretty strong squad usually. They've had a good season, I think, or is it last season? They're good though. So, we are back on this green goblin here, and I put on some Odin pre-fights for myself, which come into play down the line. I was really confused by my officers for this part. Yeah, so for this green goblin fight, I've done it before this season. I put on the suicides again just because of, I also have clairvoyance, so I wanted them for her. And I really wanted these fights to be nice and fast. So right there, I go for the reparry just in case, because with the 2 bleeds, it's a 50% chance to get the poison. So I just wanted to make sure I would get the bleed, or the poison. So I go for the reparry, and then I just go for the combo nice and slow, just letting those 6k ticks just wear him down, and he's out. The next fight, the guy asked me to step up to the Craven, and then he's going to apply White Magneto while I heal up my Archangel. I could have probably just like not healed and let the regen boost do its job, but as I said in the previous one, without Horseman and when you're boosted, the bleed and the poison just do so much damage on you. It's absolutely insane. Like, you'll see how much damage they're doing, because I got 66,000 health. Like, that's a lot. And considering that they scale with the boost but willpower doesn't, it's pretty insane. Taking yeah, even with the regen boost, I'm taking 400 damage a second. Right there, I should have gone for the reparry, kind of like I did in the previous one, and because I wasn't on my block fast enough, I guess, he ends up getting off his SP1, which triggers the trap, and I was really annoyed by that because now I have to play around that. I'm going to throw the SP1, just tick him down again, kind of just letting the neurotoxins do their job after you get a couple on. His health melted so fast. I think he must have been a rank 3 where the other one is a rank 4. I don't know. It was a crazy fast fight though against that Craven. So now I'm going to pull up to the Cersei here and I'm going to wait. So funny story, I had to wait for the global to come down, so I boosted and I moved. And I thought I was going to have to move like hours later. This was like 30 minutes later, literally, because you can still see my green boost has 30 minutes left. So I wasn't like mad, but I was annoyed because no one realized that we were going to move this fast to get the boss down, because the global is down. I'm about to take this Cersei with a clairvoyant. The boss is down. So, just to preface the fight, my officer, right after I finished and I sent the fight, he was like, oh shoot, I meant to assign a White Magneto pre-fight for this as well. I was like, oh, I thought it was just so that way I could parry and throw my SP2 to like get the buff immunity up. He's like, oh no, the plan was going to be medium SP2. I was like, oh, good to know, good to know. So she's going to get a lot of power in this, and this node also has Mystic Ward, I believe, so it's a little bit less likely that I'm actually going to ever nullify this by blocking or by hitting her. So I really have to make sure I use my buff immunity well and I don't get it shrugged off, which I immediately get it shrugged off because I was not thinking straight. And here's where I actually get a little bit worried because, one, I actually have my Limber pretty far down, so I can have Suicides and some Mystic Dispersion going. And after that, so if I get hit, I get a pretty long stun, which you're about to see. Long stun. Which was really dumb and really bad by me. I was actually getting pretty panicked right there. That was just really poor. But when she had that SP2, I was worried because the SP2 goes unblockable. It can stun you for a very long time. And then 2 is that if she doesn't throw the SP2, she gains that power gain buff, and I would have no way to remove that. I would have to like really hope I get up to my poison phase inside her shock, and it would still do a lot of damage to me because it has a lot of hits, and I only have a 4-star Odin pre-fight on. And right there, because I don't have the pre-fight, she conflictors that and then throws the heavy immediately because she's Cersei. Right here, I'm able to get off a solid SP2 finally with a 19k crit on it. And right here is where I start to feel like the fight is under my control, so I'm going to wait for her to come in so I can get my parry off. Oh, I don't. That was really bad, actually. Why did I I feel like in the moment I was planning on doing a parry, but then when she came in, I just did that. Like, I think I was planning to do the parry into it, and then I just didn't. It was really confusing. Right here, though, I'm all good. I'm just going to remove all of her buffs, and this is going to clean her up. So this war is going to be a little bit heavy on some items, because obviously I got parried there. So this is a lot of items in. I need to go start buying these potions literally right now. I'm going to have to be buying like 2 a day, 3 a day. Oh, that's a lot of loyalty. And I also spent a lot right before the season too. So for here, you're actually going to see this node come into play right away. So you get the rich get richer power, which I'm going to have the one buff, which is the shock immunity. So I actually counteract the rich get richer, but he has that. Oh, but also if I parry and I get the armor up, I will always have more buffs than him because he only gets 1 power gain buff. He doesn't get the Furies unless he heavies you. So as you can see, I'm actually gaining passive power right now because of that, but I can't nullify the power gain buff. I think I was thinking of this fight. I can't nullify the power gain buff without the buff immunity because of Mystic Ward. But I have the Mystic boosts on here, and I have the Power Steal phase going. So I am going crazy stealing the power. And right here at the far side of the screen, I want to throw that heavy to get those final 3 clairvoyant charges. So that way this SP3 is as supercharged as it can get. And as you're going to see, it's a pretty big one. And as I'm throwing this, I see that connection sign. And my house's Wi-Fi can be a little bit weird, so I was really concerned. But that was still a 63,000 damage SP3, and that's going to put me back up at my SP2, so I just immediately throw that into him, I think is what I did there, right? And right here, I am very worried. Very, very worried. Luckily, right there, it ticks back in, and I'm all good to go. So this is why I was confused. When I originally read the assignment sheet, I didn't see my name next to this fight, the Rinshaw. So I thought they gave me the pre-fights on Archangel pretty much as a, well, no one else can use them, so just take them for your Archangel, and it'll just kind of like help. Like if I get the precision buff on me from a dex, I'll have a little bit more crit rate. I was like, okay, I guess that's why. There was a second reason I thought up, but I was so confused as why I was putting the pre-fight on my Archangel, and then I was out and I saw the tag and it's like, oh yeah, you're taking the Rin. I'm like, what? I am? I didn't see it on this sheet. So I had to put on another boost. So I ended up boosting a really odd amount of times because I also put on, because I had the 2 boosts. I put on the first set of boosts, but 2 of the boosts lasted me into the second time. And during the second time, I ran out of one of the boosts, so I had to buy a 6-hour boost for that, which was actually a good thing because then I had the 2 boosts on for this, and so I just used another boost. A lot of boosting. So this Archangel for Rinshaw here, he's gonna get the buffs if he goes over a bar of power, but unless I push him to an SP2 before I have the 3 Neuros on him, that's really only where it's an issue. But as you can see, I already failed his Fury from the node. So Rich Get Richer is completely working for me right now. I feel like I'm having some not the best RNG at the start of getting my neurotoxins up. Right there, I saw it was about to expire, and he didn't quite have his special. So that's why I decided to dash in, because I know he's about to be stunned, and I want to be right on top of him for that heavy. And there I was just able to finish out the fight, and that's my 5 fights for the war. They all went pretty well. That Cersei one had a very sketchy middle, because I want to say because I didn't have the white Magneto, but I don't know how much it would have changed. It would have really just changed that, like, 1 point, I think, in the fight. But even without it, it was fine. It just took a little bit of damage because I don't have a very high start Odin, so the shock wasn't too great. And this is the score currently at 6-1, or at least the last time I checked. They could have died, or we could have died while recording. But 6-1, solid score so far for, 2/3 and just under 2/3 in. Or just about halfway, actually. Halfway and 2/3. Pretty solid score. Happy with my BG. My BG, I don't know if I showed it there. I think I did. We went 50-0 again, which is a really good thing for us. We had that kind of bad first 2 wars or so. Especially that second war, our BG didn't do too great, so it's really nice to see us back on track and back at getting it. I hope your guys' war is going well. Hope the week of wars go well for you guys. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Bye.